Any campaign would have done the same. You know, this vintage Giuliani, Stephanie, his whole goal is to distract evidence of points he needed to prove that. So fair enough. But it doesn't mean that this is behavior that we would accept from the president, taking contributions from one of our foreign enemies. And Giuliani should be careful because there's another issue lurking for him here. It is illegal to accept donations from a foreigner in connection with an inauguration. This issue is not off the table. It's likely still under investigation.
We forget, it's easy to forget that the Mueller report is not the only investigation out there. There is a whole lot more. Matt, what do you think about the news coming out of the White House, specifically from Giuliani and other allies? If you watched Sunday shows over the weekend, they're running a victory lap saying total vindication.
Total vindication.
Yeah, because the president picked an attorney general who had preconceptions about this investigation before he was chosen, and that attorney general gave the president that talking point, even though it's clear, I think, pretty clear to anyone that gives a fair reading of the Mueller report, that's not what it concludes. And I think the question for going forward is, one, what are the Democrats going to do, obviously? But then I think the bigger question really is there any Republican in Congress that is going to give a good faith reading of this report, or are we just going to kind of rely on the talking points that the Mueller investigation found nothing here? Joyce makes the right point that with respect to what the
blah 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 blah
may not have been able to prove a crime, but that doesn't mean that the president's behavior was acceptable. And then with respect
lies that lying liars tell. Oh, well, it's gonna be my last little. I kind of look like Howdy Doody here. Howdy Doody's grandpa. Grandpa Doody. Yes. That's what I should have put down there. Grandpa Doody. Hey, this is Grandpa Doody. Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, Grandpa Doody. I'm doodying it up. Yep. Yep, this is Grandpa Doody. And this is Dreamy Dreamland with Sensa Al Bob, but this is Grandpa Doody here. And this is a YouTube show on our little YouTube channel, Dreamy Dreamland with Sensa Al Bob. But this is Grandpa Doody. Yep. Yesterday was loads of fun. And I'm going to go back and wait for it to be picked up and taken back to the party. A few of us elders weren't gonna just keep. I mean, these guys party till they fall over like days later. So, but that pig was awful tasty. Gotta say, yum. And it was pretty tough because Herb was the pig. Herb's been around for a while, and I was eating Herb, so there's a lot of Herb there too. But people get stuck in belief structures. Oh, you can't eat. I have to be a vegan. Oh, I have to be a vegetarian. I have to be blah, 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 blah. There's so much blah, 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 blah. And I'm right. I mean, yeah, look at me, Grandpa Doody. This is what being right gets you. Yeah. Anyway. So I was watching the tube, and I was watching the Three Stooges, and they had one where they were the fascists. Mo was Hitler-esque. TV is like, this is like heroin. It's like an opioid, and that's why I live out there in the deep green. Is that There's nothing out there. I mean, nothing. And and you know, TV reminds me a lot like that movie They Live, you know. And buy, consume, obey, you know.
Sounds like this grandmother's lifting 200 pounds.
200 pounds.
Take orders from you or anybody else. That goes for you too, Marshall. I'm going home alone.
Yep.
Good surprise everybody showing up here.
I guess so.
We don't do others.
No, I guess I better get out there.
Well, look, let's stay around town tonight. It's a little late, you know.
Are you arresting me, Marshal, just for that?
No, I'm stopping in bed for the night. Pretty late to go out there and disturb me now.
Damn.
Well, Chester's staying out there. He's sleeping in the barn after me one of the chores and so forth. Why don't you bed down here tonight and go out in the morning?
Yep. 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 Well,
She's 12.
you know, last night I went on air for about 5 minutes and see if anybody show up.
Still want more.
I just went back to watch TV and then took a bath and then kind of fell asleep. Just woke up, had breakfast, Syntho breakfast, and I, you know,
To validate the identity of your ride and the driver as it is arriving. It's also partnering with the University of South Carolina to launch a national campus safety initiative.
ooh, campus safety initiative, yeah, baby, ooh, yeah. The monster, a monster is a monster.
Isn't easy. You could spill bowel contents into the
Ooh,
bottle.
bowel
The
contents.
might be dead.
I think that's what I had for breakfast, bowel contents.
Did he ever make you an offer?
Ooh, 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 coffee,
Support for people with type 1 diabetes or
ooh.
When we paired with the Humana team and helped
Washington Chapel Catholic guy that he is going to be a Hall of Famer one day, and at a time when they needed to come.
All right, Derek, can you take a selfie?
Ooh, I hate when that happens.
It's in the shop. It's the shop. It's
In the shop.
glow in the dark, so people can see through the fire. My audiobook.
Oh,
they need
What do you want to do? Try to clean it right? Let me do it.
Hey, you ain't out for revenge, are you?
No, I wouldn't. Did you never did anything in my life?
Just watch your P's and Q's.
Brother.
oops.
Get hurt. Sorry, Mo. I couldn't help it. It just slipped. It's an accident. Yeah. I'm sorry, Pat. It must have moved.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sent from where the back
I've seen worse, Cole.
is that there's this frenzied building because people think that that's where the opportunity is, and I'm afraid that I think once again that's going to be overdone.
Are you saying it's a sign of a market top?
I think it's more of a market top. Certainly on some of those unicorns, I think it's more of a market top.
Market top.
What about the
It's
Fed?
like a muffin
There's been a lot
top.
of emphasis on the new
Over the
pension
market,
standard. They're not easing
You know,
those.
it's like a
they're not
muffin
Much
top.
emphasis?
They're not easing, but I think there may be a little bit too much of this, but I still think
Oops,
that the
could
fact
be.
that we
Could the
consistently
stock
said this
market
up, and there are
crash?
people calling for the next move to be down. I actually think
Maybe,
it's going to be either
maybe,
zero or up.
maybe.
It's going to be the next move. And look, if you start getting
Maybe.
any hint of inflation at all over
At
the
all.
course of the next couple of months, the Fed's going to be very quick. And he left the door open, and we saw that in the last set of minutes. He left the door open that the next move could be higher. And so my sense.
Oh, the next move could be higher. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but your sensei Al Bob was telling me And this is Grandpa Howdy Doody. But Sensei Alba was saying that, you know, he lives on real limited resources. And, but that Sensei Alba, you know, that guy, he can live like a millionaire and not be one. But on his limited resources, as he's buying food, he has seen that food has gone up about 40%. You know, what he used to buy for $40 now costs him close to $70, right? And his food stamps is not going up. So he's eating like maybe half of what he normally does. But, you know, that's probably a good thing. And his gasoline back in the 1st of January, gasoline was about $1.75. Now it's up to $2.45. So, you know, they're not saying that, oh, you know, if inflation goes up, well, freaking kids, inflation's already going up. Anyway, well, that one person was gone. There was one person there. But this is probably going to be my last show for, I don't know, a while, because Sensei Al Bob is heading for the Deep Green, and he's going to be at the party where there's nothing, and he's going anytime soon. Anyway, he's going to wait till 15 minutes for this show. There was one person who showed up. Anyway, I would suggest that you guys go watch. You know, Sensei Al Bob has close to 600 shows on Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob. Go send, go take a look. Remember, you can get a hold. I'm tired of saying that. I'm Grandpa Howdy Doody. I'm just waking up. Oh, Nick. So, I've been thinking about lies, the history of lies. Right now, I mean, Donald Trump is probably the best thing that's ever happened to the United States, because he is so what the powers, well, the sock puppets, he's a sock puppet. He's not the powers that be, that's for sure. Or the powers that shouldn't be. And I mean, this guy can't help. I mean, if Donald Trump just put his Twitter away, right? And just did what he did, and just didn't say anything. Didn't have Rudy Giuliani. That guy is. I don't have enough energy to I grew up in New York City, and so what Rudy did, he was like, whoa. I mean, he just runs in a long line of sock puppets that are like, when Martin Luther King got shot, Jesse, what's his name? Give Hope Alive. He wasn't even there. He was somewhere else. The body had been taken a long way, and the blood was still on the ground, and he was wearing a white turtleneck, and he took it off, put the blood on his white turtleneck, went out in front of the TV camera, and I was holding Martin and Mom's, and Martin said, keep hope alive. And Madame Popolsky, when she was on the San Francisco board, and after Malcolm Moscone got shot, she wears a white coat all the time. So she took her white coat and put it in the blood of Harvey Malcolm, put it on, and said, and I was holding Mayor Moscone in my arms, and he said, oh, keep hope alive. And the thing that Harvey Malcolm Moscone ran on was not to build a civic center in the middle of a 20-block area of a neighborhood.
Exchange, it's something we're going to hear from a lot of companies, especially Dow Components.
Yeah. Did they get the benefit of that on that, or did the stock get hit on
The
that?
stock got hit very hard on that, and now has lagged behind. Over the last 3 months, it's basically been flat.
And that's what,
Taxi has really
and that's
taken
what,
off, up more
and
than
that's what
10%.
we
got
are.
a taste of life with earnings last week.
Yeah, with
Higher
very small.
growth.
And margins, right?
We are the corporation. It's, you drive around and you go into a little town or a big town or a city or a county, and it's like incorporated village, incorporated state, incorporated country. What does that mean? Go to 1871 when we passed a law, where used to say "we the people" on the Constitution. They changed it to "we the corporation," and that's why they shot Lincoln. He said, we just fought a civil war over this, and I'm not going to give corporations the rights of individuals over my dead body. 5 days later, Jack Kennedy wanted to get rid of the CIA and the Federal Reserve and the IRS. And he gave a speech. He signed an executive order to do that, and to not go into Vietnam, and to disclose all the stuff we've been doing, not just the UFOs, but everything else. And he was going to give that speech in Dallas. So, it's a corporation. That's where we are. We're a corporation. And the lying liars, we all hold a responsibility because we let it go down because we get crumbs, That 1% gets the cookie, we get crumbs. That's trickle down, right? That's the trickle down. And, what would happen, we'd lose our TV, we'd lose our credit cards, we'd lose our this, we'd lose, all the things, the bread and circus. We lose our flat screens and fast food. We tumble into the zombie apocalypse. Why do you think that TV show is on, The Living Dead? Because we are the living dead. Just go into Walmart. So, clearance. I mean, me. Why do I wear? Why did I buy this from Walmart? Because it was on clearance. It was $3 freaking. I mean, I'm sure it has, nano dust RFID chips in it, and it was made by children slaves, And this thing just happened in that little island nation, below India, and the government just came out saying, "Oh, we knew all about it. Oh, sorry, we didn't do anything." Yes, you live in a police state because we told you, it would be secure. And we knew about it. We had all the intelligence. We knew the people. We knew everything, and we still haven't captured it, and they've left.
And I guess the common theme here is that usually investor days for Tesla, especially when there have been teases and hype around a new technology, are met with more excitement. There's a lot of skepticism around this stock, not just because of videos like.
And that's what's important right there, And the wars go on. We've been in Afghanistan 17 years, 18 years. We've been in Iraq, let's see, 19 minus 3, 16 years. We've been helping everybody bomb somebody. Israel, we help, give them all our most fancy stuff. And, they, we're like the puppet on their string, You got to check out where they came from. There's the Hebrew nation, the 12 tribes, and then the Zionists, who are the Anunnaki, who were, the Aryans, who were the Kharzian mob. Just go take a look at that. When the Kharzian mafia was stepped on by the Russian Tsar in the early ADs, they said, "Listen, we know, you're criminal, so are we, but you're stepping into our territory and freaking out our people. So, man, you got to move on." I mean, they were just like ISIS. ISIS isn't a religious group; they're a gang. They're like MS-13, and they want to have a caliphate land. And that's what the Khazarian nation did, and it would move around. They'd go there and like suck everything out until it dried up, and then they went someplace up. And that's the consumption model. That's what quote unquote capitalism is. It's the consumption model. Use it up. Australia was when I was there in the late 70s, 77 till 1980. The outback had been like 20 feet of dark, unbelievable grass plains, right? And the English brought goat, sheep, and cattle to there. And they would eat the grass down to the dirt. And then they had these gigantic tsunamis of weather that kind of just go across the country. And after 125 years of that, it went from this place bigger. Hey, Twitch. Good morning. Yeah, I got a little bit of a party funk. And I'm going back. This party is lasting for a whole week. I can't do that, but I'm going back today. They're so nice. They put me up. They knew I couldn't like sleep on the floor or like, dance around until I fell over or sleep on a couch, so they
find it sexier to have the less sexy technology. In other words,
less sexy technology.
Technology that caters to business versus consumers. Because you've got a stark contrast there between a Pinterest and a Zoom. And if you look at some of the other successful IPOs, it's been a lot about the B2B, the software companies, the business-oriented companies versus a Lyft.
Yes, we have to think about the corporations first before the people. Yeah. Twitchy. That's sexy tech. They're talking about, they're giving, suckers and dildos to every corporate executive, And they're all guys, so you can just figure out what the guys are doing with the dildos. And that's our boardrooms, people who decide our economic fate. Sounds like a party. That's what they do in them boardrooms. They party, they're drinking, they're drugging, they're stealing, they're killing. It's a party. And they're using them suckers and them dildos all day, all night. Yes. And remember, folks, even though this is early morning, this is still a grown-up show. Get the kiddies away from the screen, put the cat out and get yourself a libation. Hey, it's only what time? Anyway, it's 9:43 here. So it's hey, it's time to drink. I mean, the guys in the board arms they're drinking. The guys in the Oval Office they're drinking. I'm sure they're. I woke up in the morning, my hair was all. I don't have too much of it, but it was all kind of sticking out there like that. Anyway, 24 minutes and 44 seconds, yes, and it's 9:44 here, and we're supposed to go to back to the party by 10:30. So I want to go take a bath. So what else? The rest of the three of you, where are you? Say something. Twitchy, you sound good, girl. Good morning. That's how I feel. Ooh, all those oohs. Ooh. Lucky. I am a lucky bastard. Yes, I am. Yep. I was born a lucky bastard. I'm gonna die a lucky bastard, but I won't die. It doesn't seem to happen. Doing good, just in class. So it mustn't be a very exciting class if you can text me. I mean, chat me. I guess, but not text. Chat. Yeah, chat. So Twitchy, is spring hitting you? It's really, 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 really beautiful up in these mountains in West Virginia. It's not. Okay. So I don't want to be the distraction. Hey, Rhonda. Good morning. Spring is springing. Yep. Ooh. This is my favorite time of the year.
Now, and of course, concerns about drug pricing. So we have two things here. This is essentially flat for the year, one of the 3 or 4 major sectors in the S&P 500. And of course, all of the managed care stuff, the Medicare stuff, the managed care stuff, Molina, if you take a look at Anthem and some of the other big names, United Health, widely held names, they're all trading to the downside, rather notably this month. This started about 2 weeks ago. And
that's because so many old people are just dying. Can't spend any more money on them. Yeah, this is me waking up. Oh. And I had Motel Direct for breakfast. Sausage about this big, and gravy. Gravy kind of looks like motor oil with chunks of the transmission in it, and I don't even know what those little sausages are, and I had car insulation cereal, and kale pate milk, and hey, buddy. I'm just rambling on here. This is your Grandpa Howdy Doody here. You see the strings? So I partied last night. I have a friend of mine. His name is Jesus. And he has a birthday on Easter. And his family lives kind of between Morgantown, West Virginia, where the university is, and the capital. And they kind of live up in a holler that got blown away by a mountaintop retrieval. 20 years ago, I went there and kind of helped them survive that. And got everyone who could get out, go up to college, get a life outside of there. But there were a lot of people who couldn't just get out. So I helped them refurbish their blown away town, little town. And anyway, and pretty much now just people, it's just the old folks who can't really leave, who are still there, and they're dying off. And all the young folks went away, had a laugh, but when it's Jesus' birthday on Easter, they all come back, about 40 of them, into the homestead and have a party for a week. I mean, they almost got their instruments, and like I said, they did a whole pig. I think that pig will last a few days. It was Herb the pig, and he probably weighed 500. He was a gigantic pig. And he'd been around for a while, so, I put him down and dug a hole and built the fire in it and put Herb into it and then covered him up. And boy, it was tasty, I tell you.
500 healthcare sector, only a handful of stocks are positive for the month, including Cerner, which is the health IT firm, Illumina, which will be reporting later this week, Henry Schein, and Perrigo. But few and far between this month, as a lot of folks have really rotated out of that sector, despite Carl, Sarah, all the folks coming out and saying this has really been overdone at this point. Back to you.
All right, Bertha, thank you very much.
Yep. Rotate. You know, stocks to watch. So I go to that party. I can't do a whole week. And they're really so nice. They put me up in a motel. You know, they were really nice. You knew that their Sensei Al Bob couldn't. My partying days have slowed way down. But I was dancing. I was eating herb. And I had like 15 plates, vats of macaroni and cheese. Everyone brought their different macaroni and cheese and collards and really good cornbread, and that was good food, not like this crazy crap that I had for breakfast. Anyway, so I'm gonna go back, and I had bought a whole bunch of stuff for the kids to play with from the Dollar Tree. So we're gonna play with that. So we're gonna have fun. And they got me this room. Well, it's 50-50 whether I move forward. And I think I will. Head for the deep green. I'm like halfway in between. And I'm looking forward to being there. Out of TV land, out of everything land, I had to drive 30 miles to make a cell phone call. No internet, no nothing. So you won't be seeing me for a little bit. One of our brothers of the chorus is kind of coming to visit. And you'll probably see us when he shows up. We're going to take a tour around. Our friend Billy Bob is coming to visit. And we're going to talk about how to get the circus together, and we will probably do videos on he's got much better equipment. He is like the man on all of this. I have no idea what I'm doing here with this with this universe. So, and he's quite an interesting guy. So I'll have to go like him and put him on my liked channels. Anyway, what else was I going to say? There's Buddy saying, let's see. No Piggy, yes, Herb the pig, yep. Yeah, I look pretty good for toasted Bob,
Still negative for the year, for 1 year, by about 4%. But big news today as the U.S. says it will end those waivers for countries that import Iranian oil. Back in a minute.
No, Piggy, yes. Little Miss Piggy's big brother, Herb. Yeah. Very, very nice. I had car insulation for breakfast. Special K. That Special K. Okay. I get it. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Even though it's the end of the world, it's the end of the world as we know it. But it keeps going on. We've had the end of the world quite a few times. When an asteroid hits this place and wipes everyone out, well, that's a bad day. But we still kept going. What we came from that experience. The scientists say, but please, scientists are more. Science today is more religion than Islam, because Islam is at least an expression of the artist and the first person's faith in love's co-creation. Now, as Gandhi said about Christianity, when someone said, "So Gandhi, what do you think? You're a Hindu, and what do you think of Christianity?" And he said, "Well, I really think Jesus is a cool dude. I like what he says. I try to live by his tenets, but his followers, they suck. Not all of them, but the ones with the guns, they suck. So he said, all those English guys with batons who beat us up for the last and shot us and machine gunned us, well, they're Christians. So, So, oh man, so many ships and rocks falling from the sky. Yeah, something's happening. On YouTube, there's a lot of stuff, and they're spraying the sky like somebody's tagging it. They definitely don't want us to see shit that's going on up there. So, something's happening. And there are a lot of different crews out there that are talking about it. I'm watching these guys.
President expert on all things taxes is back at HQ. Robert Frank, take it away.
Good morning, David. You and I are both the tax nerds here at CNBC. Now, on the campaign trail, Democratic candidates are citing the 1950s and 60s as the golden age of taxing the rich when rates were as high as 70, even 90%. And what those candidates are not saying is that the taxes actually paid by the wealthy were much lower and actually haven't changed much in over 60 years. According to the Congressional Budget Office, in 1960, when the top tax rate was 91%, the average taxes paid by the top 1% was only around 30%. Even when that top rate fell to 70, the rich paid about in the mid-20s. Now it's about 26 to 27%, so only a few percentages points less than it was when those rates were so much higher. Now, if you look at this chart, the orange line is the official tax rate. The blue line, the rate actually paid by the wealthy. You can see that blue line, well, pretty stable. Now,
yes, below 5%.
Those top rates only apply to a small group less than 10,000
versus 1956 to today, I paid 5% of the taxes.
Capital gains, those were always taxed lower.
And they had this other line of how much assets they have. 60% of the wealth, meaning the blame. And the other one was 97% of the assets, like the businesses, the real estate.
Interesting insight into.
Yeah, really interesting insight. I mean, he didn't, and the guy looks like a reptile. His eyes are blinking sideways, they're blinking this way. Just like they live, Consume, consume, buy, obey. Yep. Pretty fucked up. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Pretty fracked up. Again, this is go watch my, go read my xratted.blogspot.com and you will see, yes, this is a adult X-rated, no, it's just an adult station, yes. Children should not be watching. Mommy and daddy to filter this information to Junior, so at least, he has an idea what's going on. Yep, Macron is a god. Yes, and Mike Pence will be president for 50 years. Don't you think Mike Pence looks like Donald Sutherland in the Hunger Games? Donald Sutherland played the president and always had that white rose. And I'm Christian. Yep. Frack fuse time. Yep. It's a rigged game, kids. It's a rigged game. So you guys, in every neighborhood, you should be having what I'm experiencing, a week-long party of indulgence. It's spring. It's indulgence, the Christians have Lent, and man, they don't. I remember when I was little, we got like a little ash on our forehead, and we didn't eat. Well, yeah, we still ate like pigs compared to the starving folk in somewhere else. But anyway, not pigs though, because I'm never going to use the term pig ever again after eating Frank. I mean, not Frank, Herb. Oh, I used to live next to a arbor, place where they slaughter animals, and it's got a fancy name for it, French, I think. And when the trucks would bring in the cows were just, they'd have these.
CNBC.com/invest in you.
We're taking your money. We're taking your money. We're taking your money. We're taking your money.
Of the New York Stock Exchange. Market starting out with a bit of a loss. Dow's down 63. Getting some numbers on existing homes, though. And for that, we'll get to Diana Ola. Diana?
Carl, existing home sales in March down 4.9% month to month to a seasonally adjusted annualized rate of 5.21 million units. That's a miss, folks. The street was looking for 5.3 million, and February's huge jump was actually revised lower. So sales are now down 5.4% year over year. That is the 13th straight month of annual sales declines. What's it all about? High prices. Median price, $259,400. That is the highest price for March ever recorded. So it's up 3.8% year over year. Even though we are seeing inventory rise, 1.68 million homes for sale. That's up 2.4%.
Bubbles.
3.9 months supply.
I see popping bubbles. Bubbles of the economy. And for all the things I know it's going to be. It's like 2008, 1986, 1972, 1961, 1955, and 1939, and 29, and 1891. Bubbles.
So far, we're not seeing it. Back to you guys.
Diana, thank you. Our roadmap for the hour is going to start with the U.S. clamping down on Iranian oil exports, tightening global supplies. Oil hitting a 2019 high.
Guys, your gas bills are going to go up. That's for sure. And that little thing is just an excuse. Just an excuse. You're going to be paying $3-4 a gallon, and I'm going to be out in the deep state not using my car. You can't pay for gas. I'll have a full tank, but I won't be driving anywhere. I'll be just eating berries and bark. And I'll lose another, however many pounds it is when I do that. And that'll be good for me. My joints will be happier. My feet will be happier and all the rest. Let's see. Yeah. Yes, buddy, you're having a good morning too. You're in fine shape. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Well, that's what we're trying to do, gang. I think the world needs full noise love right now. Yeah, exactly. Let's see, no, I can't even play with that. Yeah. Well, it's always been, it's not like we're descending into chaos. We've always had chaos, it's like, but it's controls, Blake was always talking about the control, and when you lose control of the center, all the edges fall apart. And oh, here's this dick. Pompous.
Forces to continue to underwrite Hezbollah, Houthis in Yemen, a whole list of terrorists around the world.
They said a month ago, guys, and it happened, or a little over a month ago. Either way, the market clearly not believing that the oil market will be well supplied. Otherwise, you wouldn't see crude oil up 2.5%.
Yeah, that was sort of my question, Brian. And that is, how many of the countries that were granted these initial waivers, like China and other countries, actually still bought oil from Iran? Because they too have been expecting these sanctions to come into play.
Yeah, Italy and a few of the small ones, they pretty much kicked their habit, if you will. But when you look at China and India, they've kept buying, Sarah. They have to. I mean, we're talking about over 1 million barrels between those two countries. I think China may be able to go out and source otherwise. I think the country, if you had to focus on one nation that particularly might be hit by this as an unintended consequence, it's got to be India. Obviously, India, not only a big importer of Iranian oil, the biggest refinery in the world, 2.5 times larger than our largest refinery in the United States, is in India, obviously a nation where every dollar matters to their consumer as well. We talk about inflation here. Gas prices in India certainly could be a story as well. Gas prices here too, guys. Oil keeps going up. It's going to play into the Fed's thinking, don't you think?
Yeah, potentially. Paying higher gas prices, which have already jumped so much since January. Brian, thank you.
Sure.
Brian Sullivan.
Didn't I just say that? They pay these guys $30,000 a day to read a cue card, and your Sensei Al Bob just said all of that. Hey. You looking at me. There you are. Where we be? Yeah, everything's scripted. Nothing just happens. Everything is scripted. This is true. Oh, so buddy, what are you doing in your hood? Like I said, you might have a bunch of friends. Come on, you got friends. A guy like you, car insulation doesn't sit right in my colon, but it does scrub it out, scrubbing bubbles. But you should throw at least once a month a week-long party. Why go gently into the night, buddy? And you really need to start your own nightclub. Go blind at Buddies. Should be your logo. I'm getting righteous. Buddy, you've always been fracking righteous. You're not getting anything. You are. I was Mr. Disco in the 70s. So yes, and I try to, in Roanoke, when I got there in 99, this rich woman cruised into town, and it was like the meeting of the minds. And we kind of bumped into each other at, coffee shop or something. We started talking, and she said, I told her my experience of being, Mr. Disco. And she goes, well, I want to start a rave. I went to a rave in France. And it was amazing. It was great. Blah, 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 blah. And it went on for weeks. And I said, well, okay, that sounds like my kind of party. And so she had the money, and she went and rented. And this is when, you could buy anything in Roanoke. I mean, it's like all boarded up. And so it was a big train town. So they had these big warehouses downtown. And she rented one for like $600. It was like, 10,000 square feet. And it was beautiful. Sky, it was really beautiful. It was right downtown. You could walk there from anywhere downtown. And
they're growing their pre-tax profits mid to high single digits today. And they're returning high single-digit percentages of their earnings to shareholders via buybacks and dividends. And we think that's a great combination. They're earning mid-teens returns on tangible equity. And companies that are growing, earning mid-teens returns should be selling closer to 2 times tangible book, not 1.
And why aren't they? Because there's nothing there. They've hollowed out those companies. But back to the rave buddy. So she had connections, but I did the decorations, right? And so, what did I do? I hung lights all over the place, and that was it. We had a big long bar where we just served water, no alcohol, and brought in a gigantic boom, boom, boom sound system. And she rented a truck, and on Thursdays when people throw their furniture out, I just drove around with this big U-Haul and these young kids, and we picked up, 20, 30, 50 nice couches. They just were being thrown away. And we scattered them around, and we made little alcoves so people could, do whatever they wanted over there where no one would get, put a lot of couches and beds too. And boom, 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 boom. And there's a whole bunch of colleges around there. So we spread out flyers, and first night, 500 people, but after that, and we did it Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. That was it. Thursday, Friday, Saturday night into Sunday morning. And there was an IHOP and a Denny's and a few other things close by, and they loved us. Because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, well, they didn't need it Saturday, but Thursday, Friday, we packed the place, because the folks would come from there, and that was the only thing open. Also, the Texas Tavern. Anyway, we did it for 2.5 years. It was the thing going on, and other places. This Iranian guy had like a falafel stand, and he came to the rave until it was fun, and it was downtown. And his thing was like maybe 20 feet wide and 60 feet long, and he would stuff 200 people in there, and they'd all be boom, boom, boom. And there were raves everywhere coming off of our big rave. And after 2 years, the cops never went in there once, right? Never bothered. Who cared, right? And because we were out on we're right downtown, but in a factory building. They didn't care. And everyone walked, so nobody drove. There was no DUIs. And no, we weren't serving alcohol. So anyway, and it just stopped. We would have 10,000 square feet. We'd have 1,000 people in there. The fire department, nobody showed. Nobody cared. I was concerned. I watched out for you could get out of there. There was 2 big, gigantic doors. Not a problem. And there was nothing to burn in the place. It was concrete and steel. So no. Yeah, I see. And made in France. Ooh, let's go back to the beginning. Again.
1% expected growth. So we see some very nice momentum in terms of growth. We just need to follow that and be willing to change as the data in front of us changes. We need to respond to that.
It's true. It was 0.2%. That was the first quarter expectation in March, and now it's at 2.8% from the Atlanta Fed.
Yeah.
Kevin, Tony, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Prices jump.
When we come back, a wave of tech companies heading to the public market. New York Times Pulitzer Prize.
Anyway, so we're coming up on 1 hour here, and I'm gonna go jump in, have games. I got them to play bocce and croquet. That became part of the party thing, right? Instead of, back in the day when this party first started, people get so drunk they would be right, and then people would take and write really bad things over people's foreheads. So I said, no, we can't do that. This is our family. There can't be that bad. And they do it in indelible ink. So, I'm a dickhead would be on their forehead for a week or two. Well, bud, as long as you're pulling your shit together, that's okay. Baby steps by baby steps is the way to go. I'm feeling fairly together, actually. And anything, you just start doing it, like our, this girl, I was like looking around for something to do when I pulled into in 98, 99. And I basically bumped into that, so what am I going to do? And there were a lot of interesting people around, but, and they were all doing their own thing, but nobody like this. And so that girl, she came from, like me, outside of town, and we bumped into each other and we did that. And the first, like I said, the first one, yeah, we leafleted the shit out of the colleges. And yeah, a bunch of kids came, but not a lot. But then the next week and the next week, it just got bigger and bigger until that place was packed for 2.5 years, And she basically, we had a stand-up comedian who would, on the, I knew this guy from a Rainbow Gathering, and I have a really good friend, Berman Supreme, at the Rainbow Gathering. And we used to, when center dinner would be, we would, he would be the stand-up comedian. I would just be the guy with a bucket that people would throw money in. And all day long, we would go around. We'd have the magic mirrored ball and other religious edifices. And we, in the afternoon, when everyone was just either totally burned out or kind of waking up, we'd go to the different kitchens and tell jokes and tell stories. And we used to raise 30 grand a day for the Rainbow Gathering, and, when the 20,000 people were there. And so at that rave here, we had this young guy who I met at the West Virginia gathering, and he kind of tagged along with us and kind of, I want to do what you guys do. And so he was our Vermin Supreme. And he would raise cash. And, at the rave, he'd have, there'd be a lull when people were like, hydrating. Because we were very good at making sure that everybody was, hydrating and not hydrating too much. It's that Goldilocks thing of hydration, not too much, not too little. Right? Because you can actually kill yourself by drinking too much water. So that was that story. Oh, it's 10:17. Okay, when it hits 1 hour, I'm going to say good night, Gracie, because, this is like the last one for a week. Been hard crap, man. I've been the totem and the guardian and the boy ways the world. And that's not a fun job, buddy. How you doing, Twitch? Gotta drink when it shows up. Yep. We're at 58 minutes and 58 seconds. And like I said, at about an hour, I'm going to shut it down and take a bath and luxuriate in hot, bubbly water. Anyway, and then it's off to play, and then it's off to tomorrow probably, or maybe this afternoon. Depends on how it hits me, because it's really a short jaunt from these folks' place down to the Deep Green. It's really doesn't take me more than an hour. It's nice, and like going at about 4 o'clock is a great time, because I go down this road that the west is right over there and the mountains are there, and it lights it all up, and it'll be all flowery. So it's like all flowery here. So I might leave, I don't think I can do another day of this, but it's been fun. And like I said, they put me up in a motel room. There's just, me, instead of me just, because man, if I slept on a couch, it'd be like, I had a really nice bed and a bathtub with bubbles. Ooh, can't beat that. Yeah, gang. I love you all. And buddy, stuff in a closet with dance music. Be like that Middle Eastern guy who turned his falafel stand into a rave. I mean, that was the one nice thing I like about Roanoke is that I can throw out ideas and people will pick them up and do them. Now, they may not do them long, but they at least try and do them. And that's a good thing. It's a baby step. It affects. It makes a difference. It's like that pebble in the pond, and that's what we are, that pebble in the pond. And remember, throw that pebble in the pond, and our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as it was in heaven, is now, ever shall be, world without amen, as was in the beginning, and as it shall be in the end. And every day and every way we take the peace of the earth and we make it stronger. Oh. And Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sinners, now and the hour of death. Amen. As was in the beginning, is now, ever shall be. And every day and every way, we take the peace of the earth and we make it stronger with love's co-creation. Love you guys. I'll catch you, look for me any old time, really. Because I'm not going to have any access to the internet. And when I do, I'm just going to do it. Like when I go to the library, if I'm driving around and my little laptop says, hey, look, there's somebody's Wi-Fi that's open. That's going to be about it. So, okay. And I can't even, I tried to do like a 5-minute, I was out in the front lawn of where the party was, and I just wanted to show you all the trees. I was standing next to a dogwood, and the highway was actually I went down the road a bit to where I could pick up a cell signal because I had to make a phone call. And I shot a video, and when I knew they'd have Wi-Fi at this motel, I tried to load up, wouldn't do it. I mean, it just went on and on. After 4 hours, I said, "Fuck this," frack this. For a 2.5 minute, but it's like. So. But this seems to be there, so I'm gonna go. It's 1 hour and 3 minutes and 3 seconds. And I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Now, you all have as much fun as I am, and the world will get better. Okay? Okay. Love you.